Hello, my name is Kyle Pekanowski, and this is my game Conquest for Valistus. It's a game for 3 to 4 players, ages 10 and up. The primary audience will be college-age kids as well as adults. It's a gateway game that is simple enough for anyone to pick up and learn in 10 minutes, yet it has enough depth for veterans to keep coming back and testing new strategies. It uses mechanics such as movement and trading that you see in American games like Monopoly, as well as European elements such as victory points and no eliminations. Skills required to master Valistus include negotiation and trading, building strategies, probability and luck, resource management, as well as risk management. Every time you play will be a unique experience thanks to a randomized board made up of 36 individual tiles, as well as 30 randomized number circles. Game times are usually right around an hour. The longest game I have ever seen was an hour and a half, and the shortest game I have ever seen was 45 minutes. The game plays to 12 victory points. Due to various catch the leader mechanics I have incorporated into the game, players will never feel like they don't have a shot at winning. The game entails numerous unique mechanics, including movement. No game has ever had a movement mechanic like the one featured in Conquest. Movement is unique due to the fact that the rarer the number you roll, the more movement you get, as opposed to the outdated and overused roll the dice and move that number of spaces mechanic. Other unique mechanics include the Good Samaritan, who helps your movement and resource collection, thieves, who hurt opponents' movement and resource collection, and edge tokens, which encourage players to use the entire map. Movement is based upon dice rolls and uses clicks. The rarer the number rolled, the more clicks the player receives. Each tile has 8 clicks, 4 on the corners and 4 in the middles. Each player has 2 explorers. Every time a player's explorer touches the corner, they can put down 1 claim on the terrain of their choice. Resource collection is based upon the placement of forts, fortresses, and explorers on the tiles. Terrain tiles produce resources based upon dice rolls at the start of each turn. Every player starts with 2 forts and 2 expansions, each with an explorer on them. Forts can be built on terrain tiles that you have 4 claims on. They produce 1 resource and are worth 1 victory point. Fortresses can be built on top of forts. They produce 2 resources and are worth 2 victory points. Expansions can be built off the side of any fort. They produce 1 resource and are worth 1 victory point. If a player moves through his own expansion, he receives 1 extra click. Strategy cards are bought with resource cards and are a one-time use card. Class cards are bought with resource cards and benefit you until the end of the game. You can only have 1 class card at a time. Edge tokens can be bought if you have a claim on the edge with a token on it. Once you buy the token, your claim is removed and you keep the edge token for the remainder of the game. Edge tokens are worth 1 victory point and allow for discounted exchange rates with the bank. Every time a player has 4 claims on a thief's hideout or Good Samaritan's home, all claims are removed and the player who had the 4 claims receives 2 resource cards of his choice from the bank and a victory token. Victory tokens are worth 1 victory point and allow for a 3-to-1 trade with the bank with their associated color. The Good Samaritan's victory token is worth 1 victory point and allows for a 3-to-1 trade with the bank on any resource. Victory tokens can be taken away by other players who place 4 claims on a thief's hideout or Good Samaritan's home after you. When a 7 is rolled, you can move the thief onto an opponent to block that terrain from producing resources. You could also choose to move the Good Samaritan onto one of your own resources to add another resource. If a player moves through where Good Samaritan is pointing, he receives 2 extra clicks. Players cannot pass through whichever way a thief is pointing. If a 7 is rolled, the maximum number of resource cards a player can have of any resource is 3. If a player has more than 3 resource cards, they must discard as many as they need to get back down to 3. At any point during a player's turn, they may trade with the bank at a 4-to-1 exchange rate. During their turn, players are also allowed to trade amongst each other. The first player to 12 victory points wins the game and has conquered Valistus.